Lies, secrets, and murder. The tragic end of a beautiful soul with a beautiful story. This is the case of Philomena Njeri Wanjiru. Hi friends, welcome to the Ayira Faith channel. I am Ayira and I post true crime videos every week. So if that's your kind of vibe, please consider subscribing. In today's story, we meet Philomena Njeri, who was born on 3rd March 1991 to Margaret Wanjiru in Kirinyaga County as the only child. She went to Kerugoya Girls High School, then later Tik University. Njeri was bubbly, had a lot of friends, and loved the good life. She was intelligent and always excelled in school. One night, while still at Tik University, Njeri met one Jonathan Mukundi Gachunga at a club. Jonathan, born on 14th March 1997, was a wealthy spare parts dealer and entrepreneur with interest in petroleum. The two fell in sync very quickly and would soon start spending all their free time together. They went on road trips, vacations, and holidays and grew deeper and deeper in love. Soon, Jonathan would ask Njeri to marry him, but she would decline, stating that she needed to finish university first. After all, she had only 1 year left. Jonathan agreed, and on Njeri's 25th birthday, just after attaining her degree, Jonathan asked her for her hand in marriage for the second time, and this time, Njeri did not hesitate to marry the man she loved, a man 12 years her senior. But Njeri did not know that her future husband was being dishonest about his life before her and their future together. After the wedding, Njeri was employed at her husband's spare parts shop and started working as a manager. She was very good at her job and the business grew exponentially. Soon, the business tycoon and his wife moved to Kirigiti, Kiambu County after building his dream home, a large mansionette that took 7 years to complete. Jonathan wanted it made to his exact specifications and would not compromise. The home even had an in-house pub stocked with the finest and most expensive alcohol. The mansionette was on a large piece of land extending to a stream, as well as secured with a heavy metal gate, security cameras, and 12 dogs of different breeds. The couple loved traveling and visited Mombasa, Zanzibar, and Dubai. They also went to game drives at the famous Masai Mara, Tsavo, and Samburu national parks. On a light note, here is a photo they took of Alcohol and Heart, which is locally grown and known as Mira, strapped in a seatbelt in a vehicle when they went on a hot air balloon trip in Masai Mara. Mira is an amphetamine that causes greater sociability, excitement, and euphoria. Mixed with alcohol, it can be intense. Mukundi loved to chew Mira and drink and was very sociable. However, he had an uncontrollable temper and drinking always made it worse. The couple would be out almost every weekend, living large. For the first few years, their marriage was blissful, but a deep secret was encased in the middle of the union between Jonathan and Philomena. Also, Jonathan's anger issues were a problem. Naturally, Philomena wanted a child and she had become desperate by the 5th year of marriage. She feared dying, being buried, and being forgotten. Her friend Mumbi Kibiki had just died in 2020, leaving behind a son, and Njeri saw this as a legacy. Njeri feared dying without an heir. On the other hand, Jonathan did not want children, but hadn't told his wife. As the pandemic raged on, couples were forced to spend a lot of time together. Jonathan and Njeri's time together was mostly spent drinking, and alcohol would bring up sensitive topics such as their childlessness and Njeri's strong desire to be a mother, and they would fight a lot about this. They had even tried expensive fertility treatments, and Mukundi knew it was futile, but he let his wife keep the faith that one day they would have a child together. You see, Jonathan had not been entirely truthful to his wife. Before their marriage, he had been married and had had 2 sons in his first marriage. He and his first wife had divorced and she had moved abroad. Jonathan then underwent a permanent vasectomy as he did not want any more children. He had not told Njeri and she desperately wanted to start a family. He had even pretended to believe in the fertility treatments they went to and paid for. In addition to the childlessness issue, it was alleged that Njeri was building a 5-story commercial building without Jonathan's knowledge. When he found out, he was extremely angry. Jonathan also suspected Njeri of infidelity, although none of this was ever proved. Soon Njeri could not take the fighting anymore, and she moved back to her mother's house on her birthday, that is 3rd March 2021. The couple would remain separate for 5 months until August 2nd, when Jonathan would reach out to Njeri asking her to meet and talk. On 2nd August 2021, the couple met at a restaurant in Kiambu town to patch things up. It was then that Jonathan accused Njeri of being unfaithful and falling pregnant. He said he had evidence which he did not produce. Njeri was naturally upset, and the couple left the restaurant and went their separate ways. Jonathan then went drinking and called a friend, telling him that Njeri had cheated on him and was pregnant and that they had quarreled. Jonathan told him that he had had a vasectomy and therefore there was no way that that child was his. He then concluded by telling his friend that he intended to do something terrible and hung up. In the wee hours of the morning of 3rd August, Jonathan called Njeri and asked for help. He had gotten into a minor drunk driving accident and needed help getting home. Njeri, probably seeing this as a chance to reconcile, rushed to his aid. A call was made to their driver, who came and took Jonathan's vehicle to the nearby police station as Njeri drove her husband home. This was the last time the couple was seen alive, hugging and kissing. On the evening of 3rd August 2021, police received a phone call from Jonathan's worried friend. He explained their conversation last night and that he was no longer picking calls or answering texts. He also wasn't at his place of business, which was very unusual for him as he was a hard worker and would never intentionally miss a day of work. Police rushed to the couple's home in Kirigiti and found the bedroom door locked from the inside. The house help explained that they had not come out since morning. When the door was broken down, both Njeri and Jonathan were found lying in pools of blood. Njeri was shot 4 times, twice on the head and twice in the chest, while Jonathan had a gunshot wound to his head. The bullet entered on the right side of his head and exited on the left side, rupturing his brain. This was an apparent murder-suicide that shook the country and left family and friends in grief. It is alleged that when they got home, Jonathan again accused Njeri of being pregnant and she denied being unfaithful or pregnant. Jonathan, being very quick to anger and also being intoxicated, must have pulled out his licensed gun and shot Njeri 4 times, twice in the head. He then turned the gun on himself, shooting himself in the head and killing both of them instantly. A post-mortem examination would later reveal that Njeri was never pregnant. Njeri and Jonathan were buried separately by their families. Njeri was buried on Tuesday 10th August at her parents' home in Kianjege village in Kirinyaga County, while Jonathan was buried on Thursday 12th August at his parents' home in Kiambu County. Njeri's mother, in grief, spoke of her daughter as follows: "I am jealous of heaven, for it has gained an angel of my precious princess. Yours was a golden heart that stopped beating. The void you have left in my heart will never be filled by anyone." Njeri would join her best friend Mumbi Kibiki, who had just died 7 months earlier, leaving behind a son and whose death had made Njeri's desire to have children even stronger. May she rest in eternal and perfect peace. Thank you all for watching another video on my channel. Please comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe and goodbye.